Hey, hi, welcome. I'm Chantelle, and today I'll offer you a practice standing strong. So, a really great one if you're feeling like maybe a little bit more anxious, or perhaps you've done some recent travel, you've got to find your feet again. It might be helpful to have a block in the class. We'll use it to help kind of lift the floor up to you if you need it. And then hopefully feeling after this one a bit more sturdiness, confidence, and steadiness in your legs to help carry you through the rest of your day. Enjoy. Thank you. So let's start here at first, standing in Tadasana. Feet can be about hip-width apart, so that's right where the thigh bones actually come right out of the hip sockets instead of on the outside where any flesh might be on the edge. And then begin from here some circles with your shoulders. Inhale, shoulders up by your ears. Exhale, let them roll a little bit deeper down onto your back, so we'll move them around. And then the next time, you'll lift your shoulders, not the elbows, shoulders up nice and high and tall. Squeeze for a big full inhale. You can even make like sour lemon face. And then exhale, let your shoulders kind of drop and side down. And we'll try twice more. So inhaling the lift. And again. This time let your eyes relax and close. Pause here for a few breaths. And just like that dropping down of your shoulders, see if you can imagine your attention, your awareness in your mind almost dropping down in a similar way. Out of the mind, like down through the tunnel of your throat. You can feel your breath. Attention like a little stone dropped in water. Keep going down past the shoulders and through your torso. Relax the muscles around your eyes so your attention is down, dropping past your belly and passing down through your hips. All the way then dividing itself into the two legs, all the way down until you can start to feel the texture of your mat underneath your feet. Shift your weight a little bit forward and back, so towards your toes and towards your heels. And notice how that little bit of movement starts to create some rippling up, a bigger movement up top. Then try side to side, and that's not just right foot to left, but from outer edge to inner arch of your foot and back and forth. And then try circling around, so you get to know like the entire surface area of your feet, all the little bones inside your toes, the muscles that are there to help hold you, that will hold you in this standing strong practice. Change direction with the circles. Notice how the hips might move around and sway to match the circles down low. And then pause in stillness for a few moments. The outer body isn't moving so much anymore, but there's maybe a little bit of a change inside in your interior world. Do you feel perhaps more steady through the legs? And then start to deepen your breath again, so it's helping to draw your attention back up through your entire body. Here we go, lungs expanding and emptying. Great. So here's a little grounding flow. As you breathe in, you'll softly bend your knees and reach your arms forward with your palms up. So instead of like strict like chair pose, we're actually going to be nice and soft taking it forward. On the exhale, press your legs strong, feet go down, and then as your hands go out, that's like showing how your legs are also pressing down and a little bit wider. The legs don't move, but the arms will do that little exaggeration. Let's try again. So it's soft as you breathe in, taking in the air. And then the exhale, that press down and a little bit wider. So Tadasana mountain pose is almost like we're forming a mountain a little higher each time. Plugging down and into the floor, the peak lifts up tall. A few more times. Soft for breathing in, receiving, and then here you go, powerful and strong. Down and a little bit out, and then pausing here for a few breaths, legs strong and toned. We'll swing and lift up high through the arms, and then travel down into a forward fold so you can Bend through your knees, and here's a nice place to use a block or the floor. I'll turn sideways, but you can stay forward. From here, let the knees be soft and the back of the neck relax down. Then walk your fingers all the way over to the outside edge of your right foot. The knees can stay a little bit bent, head nice and relaxed and loose. Your hands are walking to the right foot, but your left leg still stays strong and steady. So you're helping to open up all the muscles through the side edges, maybe your calf, you feel it a little bit more, as well as your hamstring. Let's go back through the center to the other side. So wandering around to the outside edge of your left foot, keeping the right foot plugged in firm. Back of the neck relaxes down, so reminding that unnecessary tension to fall off your shoulders and off of your mind. Back through the center, this time into a twist. Start with your knees quite bent. Let your right fingertips find the floor in between. So it's almost like you make a little triangle, your 2 feet as the base, and then your right hand in the center. Bring your left palm flat and sturdy onto the back of your hips, on the back of your sacrum. And think about doing a little halfway lift first. Stretch the crown of your head forward, get long. Start to lengthen here through your left leg, and then we'll turn and twist towards the side. Roll back a little bit through your shoulders, rotate and turn. This might be enough for your arm, staying hand on the hip. Or next phase, you can take your arm up high and tall towards the sky. Watch your bottom shoulder. It'll roll a little bit deeper into your upper back, so you have room to twist, room to breathe. And even if your eyes are looking tall, you can still feel the floor, the texture of your mat, underneath your feet, and press down there to help you grow up this mountain now is lifting through your fingertips. All right, let's take it back down to the ground, bending down through both of the knees. Relax into a forward fold and try turning your hands so you get a little stretch on the back of your wrists. Other side we switch, so make that triangle. It's your left hand on fingertips, 2 feet as the base, right hand onto the back of your hips. Start with the knees bent, lengthen forward first. And then your left leg can start to lengthen. Oh, that's your right leg. Right leg starts to press a little straighter as you rotate and turn your belly, your chest. Head can follow if it feels okay through the neck. Arm can extend up tall, using the top hand to reach and stretch. Bottom shoulder wriggles a little bit deeper down into your upper back muscles, so all the sides of your neck are long. Head not relaxing down now. We'll use it for a little extra stretch forward through the crown of your head. And then back down, hand to the hip. Bending through both of the knees, folding down. Head relaxes. Once again, let's stretch the back of your wrists. Now let's take these long, strong legs back into downward facing dog. Find sturdiness in your hands. Legs reach back far. And then try here, bend your knees very, very deeply, like you're loading up your springs. You've got your belly almost laying on your thighs. When you bend the legs a lot, you might be able to feel a longer spine, more open shoulders. Straighten the legs to help you go forward into plank pose. Almost like those loaded springs take you forward. And then we'll bend the knees deeply, so spine lengthens first. Loaded springs take you forward. Feel your heels reach back. Here we go again. Forward. Now let's use these long, strong legs into side plank. Drop the heels over to the right side. Lift up tall through your left arm. So if this starts to feel like a little bit too much, you could also lower your bottom knee on the ground. You're still feeling standing and strong. Bottom leg can be straight and sturdy. As you lift up tall from here, yes, it's a pose where the arm is helping to hold you, but use all the power and the strength that we've developed already in the legs to help share the pose throughout the entire mat, the entire body. We'll rotate back down to the center. Other side, so it could be your bottom knee on the floor as you lift, or both legs straight and strong for full side plank, Vashisthasana. As you lift up your right arm, some of that stale energy and circulation can kind of drain out of the wrist, out of the arm. It's getting a bit refreshed. Again, legs strong to help share the burden of the pose, all of the limbs. And then here I go back down to the ground again. Heading back into down dog. Okay. Let's step the right leg forward to the front of the mat. forward into warrior two. So you can use your hand to help it forward. Back foot spins down sideways. And then once you lift up tall, you might want to readjust a little bit. Front toes point forward, the knee bends. Back leg a bit sideways with your foot. A touch farther back with your heel. Extend out wide and open through the arms, and we'll move again a little bit from here. As you inhale, straighten the leg in the front. Lift your arms tall so it feels like the side of your body is lengthening, like that mountain peak is up there at the tip. Exhale, turn your head. Press your hands down like you're pressing down also through both of your legs, your feet. Breathing in up tall, your head can turn. So a bit more feeling equal. Bend down and press. Lifting up tall. And then the last one. So exhaling, press into the floor. Commit to keeping the legs there, reverse warrior. Hand glides down your back legs so you feel how strong it is as you lift and stretch. Now your eyes are looking up, but you can still feel the ground through the texture, the floor, feel it through the soles of your feet, keeping it steady. And then triangle pose. Front leg goes straight and long. Hips glide back. You can reach far forward. And then here's a nice place to use your hand on the shin or the floor or even a block. Let's lift up tall. Rolling back through both of the shoulders, so similar to the twist you did in the forward fold, in the side plank. Continue pressing both of your feet into the ground so that you feel the cushion of your yoga mat, but also the sturdiness of the ground, pressing up back to meet you. Great. Down to the floor for deep lunge, dragon lunge. So we'll take hands on the ground, back foot lifts up on tiptoes. Wiggle the foot a little farther over to the right side of the mat so you have room to reach both of your hands on the inside. A few breaths here, so still opening up through your right inner thigh. Still broad and open across your collarbones. And then we'll hop from here up next to Malasana, so a few options. As the back foot hops forward, toes open at a little bit angle, maybe even all the way wider off your yoga mat. You can start to drop your way down from here so the hips land down low. Palms can come together to the center of the chest. If that feels like a bit of a strain for your knees or maybe your ankles, you can put your block at the sideways level. Find your hips, and then maybe once you're there supported, you can take your feet a little bit wider and practice here. This might be a nice place to rest. If you're up for a little bit extra challenge, let's use a steady base of the legs to stand tall. Press your feet into the ground. Here we go to lift. Legs press down so that you can rise up high and tall. And then returning back to the ground while you keep the spine long. And if you're still sitting on the block, you can still feel that same sense of sturdiness in your legs. Great. Okay. From here next, let's all find our way up to standing. So go gentle if you're coming off the block. We'll finish nice and tall here. Walk your feet together. Pause for a few breaths. And let's take that right leg that we already opened a little bit through the hip and turn it into tree pose. So weight shifts over to your left leg. I'll turn sideways again. Leg can move off to the side, heel at the ankle. Arch and the calf fit nice together. You could also use your hand to help your foot move up and a little bit back where there's like a little bit more muscles. So this foot is standing as well as the one that's pressing into the floor. Let's try here next. Hands interlace in front. Flip your palms up high and tall. As you stretch your fingers and stretch through your palms, can you feel that you're also stretching the side edges of your ribs and also stretching through the soles of both of your feet, the one that's on the ground and the one that's standing tall. Let's return. Knee pointing forward. Foot relaxes down. Here's a nice place to take a little extra sigh through your mouth. Pause with your eyes closed and watch how the body will realign for you. Finding your feet, a refreshed sense of new circulation moving through your limbs, your legs. Great. Let's try it all on the other side. So here we go. A big full lift up tall. Fold your way down to the ground. Let's find hands onto the shins as you breathe in. So there are the bones, the structures of the legs that help to create your shapes. Folding down deeper, your hands can find the back of your calves or your ankles. Again, what's helping to hold you. And step your way back into down dog for a little bit first. To the same sense of sturdiness you're building in your legs, finding it in your arms pressing, your knuckles, your fingertips. Now the peak of your mountain pose are your sit bones lifting up high and tall. We'll travel for the other side. Your left leg comes forward, warrior two. So standing. Maybe not landing perfect, but then reassess. 3 times with the movements. Straighten through the leg in the front, lift up, catch a little bit more air, and then press down your feet and your palms. Lifting. Pressing. Again, lifting. Pressing. Commit to keeping the front knee bent, your left hip carving underneath towards your heel. Reverse warrior, lift up, lean back. Eyes gazing up, but you can use your right hand to feel the strength of your own leg. Triangle pose, Trikonasana, leg straightening. Hips moving a little bit back, reaching forward. So again, here's a nice place to use a block to help give you a little extra support. Turning and rotating. Head towards the side, or if it feels safe through the neck, all the way tall. Lifting a little bit the arch of your back foot, so as you press your heel into the ground, that back leg is there recruited to help hold you. Down for a deep dragon lunge, so to the floor. Full foot moves a little sideways, hands on the inside. A few breaths here first. Hop your way forward and up to the front. Feet can go out a little wider at the toes. Bring the block back in, probably at the medium level is a good height, and then readjust your feet. Palms can come together to the center of the chest. This time let's pause with the eyes closed. Center of gravity is low. Hips and the heels dropping towards the floor. But then by keeping your breath slow and smooth, there's still a little bit of movement and space inside your lungs, up underneath your collarbones. Let's take this kind of grounded, maybe calm, more trustworthy quality as we try again for tree pose. So to the floor for a forward fold, toes can turn forward. Rising up tall to standing. Through a chair is nice sometimes to help you lengthen the spine and then power in the legs. And let's try the other side. So weight shifts over to the right foot. Left knee starts to open, heel at the ankle. Arch in the calf fit nice. Up and a little bit farther back on your thigh, so if the pants aren't too slippery. So that way you can stand firm and strong through both of your feet. Almost like you're drawing in from the ground up your standing leg. Like a circuit of electricity energy, it's wrapping around your bent leg, lifting up through the center of your chest. We can flip the palms. That way, instead of gripping the hands to lift tall, the stretching of your palms and your fingers helps to create a feeling of, yes, let's remind the feet to stretch, the ribs to lengthen. And then slowly turning back down to the floor again, toes point forward, arms relax down. Inhale, the shoulders can lift, and exhale that little sigh. And then taking a few more breaths from here, once again, let your attention drop down like a little pebble dropped in water, all the way down from the mind through the rest of your body. How do you feel through the legs and the feet now? Maybe a little different from when we first got started. How do you feel inside the heart space? Maybe a little bit more open, connected to the pacing of your breathing. Then you can let your eyes open tall. Aha, great. So let's finish from here with one pose to open up the legs that we just created all that strength with. Supported bridge. We'll find your way to the floor and then bring your block next door. So the blocks usually have about 3 levels, all the way flat, medium, or even tall. First, you'll lay down on your back. The ground. Great. Once you're there laying on the floor, Use a little bit of strength in your feet, but we'll take this one into a restorative pose. So as your feet press down to help you lift, then you'll slide the block underneath. You can try starting at the medium level, and then it's like that little Goldilocks. Ooh, is that too tall? You want to go lower. You might be able to lift taller. Sometimes the foam blocks aren't quite so sturdy. So that block goes right nice and flat and steady at the back of your hips. Palms can face up, shoulders relax down. And then here's a time where you can let your eyes close. Imagine sending your breath in all the way up to your knees, and then like a waterfall, can you feel maybe some of that heat that you created, that strength, releasing like a waterfall down past your thighs, your hip flexors, past your shoulders to the floor. So now instead of creating the strength in your legs, you're letting the block hold and support you. The bones of your pelvis relaxing onto the block, so some of the musculature in the front of your legs and through the hip flexors can relax. It's even a great way here to help relax and even massage a little bit the organs in your belly. It's a gentle inversion, but it still has those same benefits of helping to calm down the nervous system. Maybe you even notice a natural slowing down of your breath. And then stay here for as long as you like, maybe even a few minutes. And then when you're finished, you can slowly press into your feet again just a little bit to slide the block out of the way. Let your spine lower back down again. A few breaths to feel the effects. And then maybe some quiet time laying down all the way in Shavasana, or you can let your practice continue in any way that feels sweet next. Thank you. Namaste, and I hope you enjoy your strong, grounded legs for the rest of your day.